From the Bob Mills Weather Center, the Oklahoma weather expert, Travis Meyer.
Well, I'm sure he was a little windy today because of all the breezes that were blowing across the area. But hey, this weekend and for Saturday, we have a bunch of fun things to do. Spring Fest going on at Woodward Park, no wind to speak of, so it should be a great time. Gigging tournament over at Jay, and also the Crusaders Car and Truck Show going on down in Muskogee, and there's a lot more fun things going on in Muskogee. We'll talk about that in a minute. Meantime, this storm center has been with us all week and has just been so big and just a monster wind maker across the central part of the United States. Until still tonight, we're even getting some rain, snow mixed in northern Missouri. It's been cold. Today's wind gusts, as we said, the highest was 44 in Coffeyville. Even western Oklahoma, which usually is all 50, 60, maybe 70 miles an hour. Wasn't that bad today. So Coffeyville, I don't know, you took the trophy for this. Anyway, we're talking about tonight, our wind gusts are gone. We're down to 5, 6, 7. We're up 10-mile-per-hour winds in Lawton. Winds are starting to return to a south-southeast direction in the Panhandle. We still have a fairly light northwest wind, if you want to call it a wind. Temperatures are in the 40s right now. We have dropped down to 37 in Fayetteville. We're in the 30s in Tahlequah. So tonight will be cold and frosty in several locations. And because of that, we're expecting again with a freeze warning, there will be multiple areas that should be at or below freezing. A little bit of good news is the fact that some of our data tonight and watching as the temperatures are dropping off, they're not dropping off quite as fast as forecasted by 1 or 2 degrees. And that could make a difference in your area. But we still expect freezing or frost conditions, especially in valley locations. Winds are light, so the cold air is going to drain in the valleys tomorrow. Oh, awesome. Upper 60s, low 70s on the far eastern side of our area. Mid 70s around Tulsa. Then we get to the 80s and miserable weather out west because they don't need it hot and windy. All right, tomorrow, though, is a fun event in Muskogee. Azalea Festival kicking off. And, of course, we're going to have the parade coming up at 11 o'clock. Temperatures will be in the 50s. Quick jump into the 60s by noon. Don't forget sunscreen. It's going to be one of those days. It's going to be cool and nice. And then you're going to go, oh, my goodness, I've been burnt. Anyway, we're talking about that will be most likely for Saturday. On Sunday, more clouds, but you can still get a sunburn with clouds, and temperatures will be in the upper 70s, low 80s, so it'll be a mix of sun and clouds. But here's the problem. There is a boundary that'll be coming in late in the afternoon, and we expect the potential for at least some severe thunderstorms. We're going to see if this actually happens. A couple of our models feel that it will. It looks like it could. It all depends upon if it can break through a little bit of a cap that's around the area. And so whatever storms do develop, they would have the potential to be quite severe. And so we'll be watching that for our Sunday night and be aware of that potential. Then that boundary moves a little bit further south as we go on into Monday morning. We'll be in the 50s, and that boundary kind of hangs around, so we'll be generally in the low to mid 70s. Some of our models are saying even a little bit cooler, and not a whole lot going on Monday. Slight chance Monday night. And then by the time we go from late Monday night into Tuesday, our chances of thunderstorms pop back up. Some will be severe. And then if you're in the east side of our viewing area, it looks like Wednesday we'll have a chance again with severe weather, large hail, damaging winds, and a few tornadoes. It is that season upon us. So Sunday night, we're going to be watching our area. And then really on into Monday, not a ton going on. Tuesday, though, a better chance of severe weather. And then Wednesday, it should be a little bit farther to the east. And so we'll have to keep an eye on what's happening with that. As far as the big storm system, that thing is finally moving out. So that means our weekend looks good. And heaven knows we need it. But here comes the rain and thunderstorms. And they'll be off and on as the next storm system gets ready to move on in. So forecast looks like this. We're talking about temperatures at 35, cold, frost or freeze in some areas. So just be aware if you have any plants that you want to protect and you live in a cold valley, you might want to make sure that they're not drooping by about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll be in the upper 60s by noon, 70s as we go into the afternoon. And the winds will start to pick up late in the afternoon at 10 to 18, maybe some gusts to 20 west of us. And then we'll see that better chance of storms, kind of unsettled weather for next week. So we've got another great weekend. Did I mention 5 weekends?